Laval is a Canadian city located in southwestern Quebec, north of Montreal. It forms its own administrative region of Quebec. It is the largest suburb of Montreal, the third largest municipality in the province of Quebec, and the 13th largest city in Canada with a population of 401,553 in 2011. Laval is geographically separated from the mainland to the north by the Rivière des Mille Îles, and from the island of Montreal to the south by the Rivière des Prairies. Laval occupies all of Île Jésus copyright sus as well as the Îles Laval. Laval constitutes Region 13 of the 17 administrative regions of Quebec as well as a territory equivalent to a regional county municipality and census division with geographical code 65. It also constitutes the judicial district of Laval. History. The first European settlers were Jesuits in 1636 when they were granted a seigneury there. Agriculture first appeared in Laval in 1670. In 1675, from a section de Montmorency Laval gained control of the seigneury. In 1702 a parish municipality was founded, and dedicated to Saint Frana section de Sales. The first municipalities on the island were created in 1845, after nearly 200 years of a rural nature. The only built-up area on the island, St. Rose, was incorporated as a village in 1850, and remained as the main community for the remainder of the century. With the dawn of the 20th century came urbanization. Laval des Rapids became Laval's first city in 1912, followed by La Bourde-Plouffe being granted village status 3 years later. Laval-sur-le-Lac was founded in the same year on its tourist-based economy from Montrealers. Laval began to grow throughout the following years, due to its proximity to Montreal that made it an ideal suburb. To deal with problems caused by urbanization, amalgamations occurred. La Bourde-Plouffe amalgamated with Renaud and Saint Martin creating the city of Chomedey in 1961. The amalgamation turned out to be so successful for the municipalities involved that the Quebec government decided to amalgamate the whole island into a single city of Laval in 1965. However, the passage of amalgamation bill was not without controversy. Laval was named after the first owner of Île Jésus copyright sus, Frana section de Montmorency Laval, the first Roman Catholic bishop of Quebec. At the time, Laval had a population of 170,000. Laval became a regional county municipality in 1980. Prior to that, it was the county of Laval. The 14 municipalities, which existed prior to the incorporation of the amalgamated city of Laval on August 6, 1965, were. Geography. The island has developed over time, with most of the urban area in the central region and along the south and west river banks. Laval is bordered on the south by Montreal across the Rivière des Prairies, on the north by Les Moulins Regional County Municipality and by the copyright Race de Blainville Regional County Municipality and on the west by Des Montagnes Regional County Municipality across the Rivière des Mille Îles. Demographics. According to the 2011 Census of Canada, the population of Laval was an estimated 401,553. An 8.9% increase from the earliest census in 2006. Women constitute 51.5% of the total population. Children under 14 years of age total 17.3%, while those of retirement age number 15.6%, resulting in a median age of 40.9 years. Laval is linguistically diverse. The 2011 census found that French was the sole mother tongue of 60.8% of the population, and was spoken most often at home by 65.2% of residents. The next most common mother tongues were English, Arabic, Italian, Greek, Spanish, Armenian, Creoles, Romanian and Portuguese. Government. Municipal politics. The city's longtime mayor, Gilles Vaillancourt, resigned on November 9, 2012, following allegations of corruption made against him in hearings of the Provincial Charbonneau Commission. City Councillor Bazal Angelopoulos served as acting mayor until Alexander Duplessis was selected in a council vote on November 23. Duplessis, in turn, stepped down after just 7 months in office after facing allegations of being implicated in a prostitution investigation. He was succeeded by City Councillor Martine Bigrand until the city's current mayor, Marc Demers, was elected in the 2013 municipal election. Past mayors have been Jean-Noël Lavoie, 1965, Jacques Tar copyright Hult, 1965 Euro 1973, Lucien Perrimont, 1973 Euro 1981, Claude Lefebvre, 1981 Euro 1989, Gilles Vaillancourt, 1989 Euro 2012, Alexander Duplessis, 2012 Euro 2013, Martine Bigrand, 2013, Marc Demers, 2013 Euro present. On June 3, 2013, the provincial government of Pauline Marois placed the city under trusteeship due to the ongoing corruption scandal affecting the city. Florent Garner copyright, a former head of the Zarita copyright Duque copyright Bec, will serve as the city's head trustee, with responsibility for reviewing and approving or rejecting all decisions made by City Council. Municipal Affairs Minister Sylvain Gudule said that Laval's Mayor Alexander Duplessis and his council will continue to serve, but council decisions must be approved by the trustees. Duplessis, in turn, resigned as mayor on June 28, 2013, after being implicated in a separate prostitution allegation. Flag, seal and motto, on a white-yellow background, the emblem of Laval illustrates the modernism of a city in full expansion. The sign of the city symbolizes the Île of Laval. The colors also have a significant meaning. Dark red represents usually the affluence and represents here the great economic potential of Laval. Blue symbolizes the quality of life and the installation of a human city. The Île of Laval is made of cubes that represent the development of Laval. The letters of the Laval signature are related one to the other to point out the merger of the 14 municipalities of Jesus Island in 1965. The logo has existed since the 1980s and the flag since the 1990s. Federal and provincial politics. Politically, Laval has been historically a battleground area between the Quebec separatist parties and the federalist parties. The only exception is Chomedey in the south, which voted overwhelmingly to not separate in the 1995 Quebec referendum. The other parts of Laval have drifted to the provincial Liberals in recent years. While the PQ held every Laval riding except Chomedey during their second stint in government between 1994 and 2003, the Liberals won every Laval riding in 2003, 2007, and 2008. During the 2012 election, the PQ saw some gains in Laval when they captured 2 seats, but both returned to the Liberal fold during the 2014 election. Economy. Laval's diverse economy is centered around the technology, pharmaceutical, industrial and retail sectors. It has many pharmaceutical laboratories but also stone quarries and a persistent agricultural sector. Long seen as a bedroom community, Laval has diversified its economy, especially in the retail sector, developing numerous shopping malls, warehouses and various retail stores. Laval has 4 different industrial parks. The first is Industrial Park Centre, in the heart of Laval at the corner of St. Martin West and Industel Boulevard. One of the largest municipal industrial parks in Quebec, the Industrial Park Centre boasts the highest concentration of manufacturing companies in Laval, 1,024 at last count, and 22,378 employees. The park still has 1,300,643 m2 of space available. The second, the Autoroute 25 Industrial Park is at the crossroads of the Metropolitan Road Network. Inaugurated in 2001, this new industrial municipal space has been a tremendous success, boasting an 80% occupancy rate. Laval is studying the possibility of expanding this park in the next few years. The third, known as Industrial Park East, is in the neighborhood of St. Vincent de Paul. This park has reached full capacity with a 100% occupancy rate. Industrial Park East is currently part of a municipal program to revitalize municipal services and public utilities. Laval is working with a private developer on an expansion project for the park that should be announced in the near future. The fourth industrial park, the Laval Science and High Technology Park, is located along Rivière des Prairies and Autoroute 15. It is an internationally renowned science campus that houses the Biotech City and the Information Technology Development Center. The Laval Science and High Technology Park is a beacon of the metropolitan economy, in an environment befitting the best technopolises in the world. Nearly 500,000 square meters of space are available for development. The Biotech City spans the entire territory of the Laval Science and High Technology Park and is a unique concept in Canada in that its residents comprise both universities and companies. Created in 1995, Laval Technopole is a non-profit organization that has the objective to promote the economic growth of Laval by attracting and supporting new business and investments located in its 5 territory poles: Biopole, E-Pole, Agropole, Industrial Pole and Leisure Tourism. Alimentation Couche-Tard has its headquarters in Laval. Sport. Laval was the host city of the Jadouquet Copyright Bec held in summer 1991 and of the Canadian Hockey League's 1994 Memorial Cup. Transportation. Roads highways. A13, Montreal to Bisbee. A15, New York State to Saint-Agathe-des-Monts. A19, Montreal to Boulevard Jeunesse, continues as Route 335 to Bois-des-Filion and beyond. A25, Boucherville to Saint-Esprit via Montreal and the A440, Laval, provincial routes, Route 117, Montreal to Ontario Highway 66 past Rouyn-Noranda, Route 125, Montreal to St. Donat, Route 148, Laval to Pembroke, Ontario, Route 335, Montreal to the Lanaudière region past St. Calixte. Incidents. 2000 Boulevard du Souvenir overpass collapse. On June 18, 2000, during renovations to the Souvenir Boulevard overpass over Highway 15, the southern section collapsed onto the highway, causing the death of one person. De la Concorde overpass collapse. On September 30, 2006, the De la Concorde overpass over Autoroute 19 suddenly collapsed, killing 5 people. Public transit Montreal Metro. In April 2007, the Montreal Metro was extended to Laval with 3 stations. The long-awaited stations were begun in 2003 and completed in April 2007, 2 months ahead of the revised schedule, at a cost of $803 million Canadian dollars, funded entirely by the Quebec government. The stations are Cartier, de la Concorde, and Montmorency. The arrival of the Metro in Laval was long awaited as it was first promised in the 1960s. Former Mayor, Gilles Vaillancourt, announced his wish to loop the Orange Line from Montmorency to Cartier-Véchus stations with the addition of 6 new stations. He proposed that Transports Quebec, the provincial transport department, set aside $100 million Canadian dollars annually to fund the project, which was expected to cost upwards of $1.5 billion. Commuter Rail, the agent's marque copyright Tripolitaine de Transport operates 2 commuter train lines on the island. The Des Montants and Saint-Jean copyright Rami lines connect Laval to downtown Montreal in as little as 30 minutes. Including de la Concorde, there are currently 5 train stations. On the Des Montants line, there are 2 stops in Laval, a La Bigras and Saint-Dora the copyrightee. On the Saint-Jean copyright Rami line there are 3 stations in Laval, de la Concorde, Vimont and Saint-Rose. Buses. The Socia copyright Tar copyright de Transport de Laval provides local bus service in Laval. The STL's network consists of 35 regular lines, 2 rush hour lines, 2 train bus lines, 3 express lines, 1 community circuit and several taxi lines. There are reserved lanes for buses and taxis on Chaume Boulevard between Le Carrefour Boulevard and the Des Prairies River and beyond, as well as along Boulevard des Laurentides between Rue Proul and Boulevard Cartier. Most buses that use the reserved lane end their journey at the Cartier metro station. The AMT and the City of Laval have developed reserved bus and taxi lanes on Notre Dame Boulevard between Vincent Massey Street and Place Alton Goldbloom, and another on de la Concorde Boulevard between de l'Avenir and Laval BLVDS, as well as between Ampere Avenue and Rouen Saint. These reserved lanes opened shortly after October 31, 2007. Education. Laval is home to a variety of vocational technical centers, colleges and universities, including. The city has two separate school boards serving Laval, the Commission Scolaire de Laval for French-speaking students and the Sir Wilfrid Laurier School Board for English-speaking students. There are two community English language high schools in the city, Laval Liberty High School and Laurier Senior High School. North Star Academy Laval is the only private English high school in Laval. They offer secondary 1 to 5 and the possibility to do a grade 12 diploma from Ontario via their online platform. Attractions. Laval's main attractions are: Source, Tourism Laval. Media, Laval is served by media from Montreal, however it does have some of its own regional media outlets. Laval has two radio stations on its territory, CJLV 1570 AM Radio Murta, and CFGL 105.7 Fathoms Rhythm FM. Additionally, there are three major newspapers in Laval. The bi-weekly English language The Laval News, the bi-weekly French language Le Courrier Laval and the weekly French language L'Echo de Laval. One television community channel operates on Laval's territory, TAR Copyright La Copyright Vision Ra Copyright Guinal de Laval, as part of Videotron Cable's Fox network. Twin towns sister cities, Laval is twinned with three different cities, Laval, since 1984, Petah Tikva, Israel, since 1986, Klagenfurt, Austria, since 2005, Gyumri, Armenia, since 2003. It also shares about 10 economic and cultural cooperation agreements with cities such as Markham, Ontario, Ribera-Grande, the Azores, Nice, France, Grenoble, France, Mutanjiang, China and Pedro Aguirre Cerda, Chile. See also: List of people from Laval, Quebec, List of Quebec regions, List of crossings of the Rivière des Mille Îles, List of crossings of the Rivière des Prairies, Bibliothèque de Laval. References. External links: City of Laval website, interactive map of Laval from the official website shows both the borders and names of the 14 former municipalities and the borders only of the current 6 sectors. Tick off both boxes beside Limite Administrative. CRA per mil.